Click.co University. Oh, this is a U1. This is a U1. You figured this out early on because it's probably the hardest problem, hiring. Basically, how did you start hiring people overseas? What was the unlock?
Yeah, so in the early days hiring overseas, it was Dylan having an absurd amount of time and not much money. So I just I'm gonna figure out myself, sort of do it yourself approach, which meant going on onlinejobs.ph, which is like one of the main job boards there, figuring out a post that was like, hey, we're gonna pay you a lot of money, you can work chill hours, and then basically getting as many applicants as I could, which was probably at the time was like 100. Granted, now we can get 1,000 per job post, but like 100 applicants, they come in, and then at the time I was just filtering people, so it'd be like emailing them all through the night, like 3 a.m., just to see how fast they respond, and like sending them, here, can you do a test edit on our podcast for this clip? And it was just like an insane amount of back and forth. But at the end of it, if you do have that time, you can probably find someone good. In our case, like the early editors were really solid. I think now, like sort of the talent pool we have access to is just 10 or 100 times bigger, so we can just like find the actual best in the world. But that's a really good starting point just for finding like a better than average editor. Is just onlinejobs.ph, sending a lot of emails back and forth, and getting a couple trial tests with your favorites that you pay for. It's a good way to do it.
I think you figured out early on that, okay, so there's this kind of beautiful thing with design work, which is like, there is no hiding good or bad design work. Like the way it looks is the way it is. And so you had very early on, when we would look at portfolios or get samples back, you were like, this should be purely gut based or intuition. Like we've seen a ton of stuff on the internet. So if we look at somebody's portfolio or sample and it makes our gut go like, oh my gosh, like I want that, or I want to make stuff like that, or I want my face on stuff that they're editing, 100% of the time hire them when it comes to design work. And then we did that, right? You hire those best of the best, the A players. And then what you basically did is you just hired through their network, because did it come from Netflix or Apple, but you realized like A players know and want to be surrounded by A players. Anytime we found like a B player or a C player, it brought down the quality of the team, and we knew we had to get rid of those folks. But a bunch of A players working together to kind of inspire each other.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And really quick on there's like a lot that you can avoid with applications. It's really like, we've never looked at a resume. We have no idea. Like, I don't know. Some people are sending like fucking like IQ tests and stuff like
CVs.
that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's just like a lot of weird stuff. It's like all that matters is their portfolio, like their actual editing skills. So also applying that to like a test edit, editing skills and communication, like those two pillars. That's all you need. It's like, are they responsive to you, and do they make good work? And then ignore all the rest. We don't do like interviews really, hardly ever. It's usually like after we've decided to hire, do interview. It just doesn't matter when you're working async online. It's just like the quality of your work and are you available?
I was just telling someone yesterday, but I would even sometimes take the trade of a slightly worse editor with A plus plus communication or proactiveness.
Mm,
Someone who's just like always there, ready to go, eager to work, your sidekick.
yeah.
Uh, I think, yeah, communication can often even trump some of the like greatest 0.01% editing.